Is pursuing an MBA degree at an Indian business school worth it? This question we are going to explore today. Welcome back to IIM Consulting. My name is Jack. I spent 5 years as a project manager and consultant at McKinsey & Company and now serve as an independent management advisor. Here on IIM Consulting, I share with you my business and consulting insider advice. And if you're an avid watcher of my channel, you will know that I'm a bit skeptical about pursuing MBA degrees in general. I think it's often unnecessary to achieve your career objectives and overpriced. But I keep an open mind. And so today I've invited a guest with us who has done an MBA degree at an Indian business school, namely IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome, Yash Choudhary. Please share with us your experience and what's your background?
First of all, thank you so much, Jack, for inviting me to your show. So I am a graduate engineer of class of 2016. And I had around 5.5 years of experience working in oil and gas. It's a state-owned enterprise, leading company here in India. Post that, I decided to do MBA, 1-year MBA at IIM Ahmedabad, which is a leading business school here in India. And I had a great experience, I would say so, at my Ahmedabad. And post this, I'll be joining PwC as an M&A consultant.
Congratulations first. But going back to the roots, Yash, why did you want to change career and what did you do an MBA for? What was your motivation?
All right. So I would say there were two reasons for pursuing MBA. Firstly, working in a state-owned enterprise, serving the India's energy needs was a fulfilling experience, but the holistic knowledge of business or the global outlook was missing in my profile. So I thought MBA could provide me certain avenues or open certain opportunities for me. Second reason was I want to change my industry also from oil and gas to work in a consulting domain. And for this, I figured out that I will be needing skill sets related to project management or maybe knowledge of finance or global operations and business management. And MBA can provide you a perfect platform to gain these skill sets. So yeah, these were the reasons.
First, I'm happy that you want to become a consultant, so you're right on here. And how did you go about it? I mean, why did you choose IIM Ahmedabad? And also, I mean, how did your assessment go with, say, the more, well-known schools in the US and Europe?
Sure. So firstly, I would say I want to work in international maybe in US or Europe for a few years, but down the line, I want to settle here in India. So pursuing MBA from India would make more sense rather than having MBA from US or Europe. Secondly, as we all know, India is an emerging economy, having a fastest growth in GDP. We stood at 5th position in ranking of countries, having $3.75 trillion GDP.
You make us envious now.
So I think it's a decade of India in the few decades from now, or current decade, I would say. And thirdly, I would say it's a very economical investment, I would say, considering the ROI. If you consider other business schools in Europe or US. So considering MBA here in India is a very least investment and having good returns, I would say.
Did you also apply to other business schools in India apart or from IIM Ahmedabad?
So yeah, I applied to other business schools also here in India, like Indian School of Business and IIM Ahmedabad. I chose IIM Ahmedabad because of the legacy of the past 62 years of IIM Ahmedabad. Secondly, it has one of the world famous alumni here at IIM Ahmedabad. It would open doors to multiple alumni network. So yeah, these were the reasons for choosing IIM.
Let's take a look because I think the idea of this talk is also to highlight what your school did for you in comparison to the business schools that are always talked about. And so let's look at this little ranking that you shared with me in advance. So that's actually the global MBA ranking from Financial Times. They picked 150 business schools and ranked 100 are from 1 to 100. So it's a relative ranking. They're kind of, if you want to read it yourself, I will link it in the comments. There's a kind of very complex methodology here. What came out is that Ahmedabad ranks 62 out of 100 in the aggregate level. But what's quite interesting that you pointed out to me on the career progress rank, it ranks number 1 among all 100. And just that for you guys, you know what that means. So it's also explained here. Career progress calculated according to changes in the level of seniority and the size of organization alumni working now compared with before their MBA. And that of course speaks about the benefits, right? So apparently everybody who was graduated from your school enjoyed the career boost.
So as per the recent ranking of 2023, we are stood at 51 position. We jumped our ranking from 62 to 51 position. And you are aptly right. Like we are number one in career progression rank. I think ROI, considering ROI is one of the biggest factor in this criteria.
I was going to pick on a second one. Yes, that was also interesting. I'm sure it didn't change that much to 2023. Also, it's very high alumni recommend rank. So it seems that there are many proud alumni from your school. That is, of course, great as well. And I also want to add, because we haven't really touched upon that, on the salary expectations you can have as an IIM Ahmedabad graduate. So you see here 180,000 US dollar per year. This is not what you would expect as a graduate who then works in India, but actually this is a purchasing power adjusted salary. So your lifestyle in India would compare to somebody in the US living on $180,000 a year, which of course is very comfortable. Maybe you want to say a bit about the history of the two different MBA programs at Ahmedabad.
Sure, definitely. So IIM Ahmedabad was started in year 1961, and it started for a 2-year MBA, which is equivalent to a MIM, Master in Management in Europe or maybe in US. And considering other business schools like INSEAD or maybe LPS, so they started 1-year program or maybe 15 months program. So that's why Indian business schools have followed the suit. So ISB was the first business school here in India, which started 1-year program in 2000. It was followed by IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta since year 2005. And it's 18 batch program as of now. And in my cohort of class of 123, we have 140 folks, people from different backgrounds. Like there were veterans from defense forces, there were bureaucrats, some people were from fashion designing background, some were doctors. So it's been said that you learn more from your peers as compared to professors. And it was so true in my case.
I would be interested just how the application process was for you. I mean, what kind of nightmare did you have to go through compared to the other schools?
It's a very small cohort business school, having around 140. Like this year, batches are having around 148 students. Every year, around 1,200 plus applications will be there. Last year, GMAT score was around 703. This year, it was a little bit dropped. It is around 693 GMAT score. And average GRE score is around close to 323.
Man, I start thinking you're an ambassador for your school. You know all the numbers by heart. It's very impressive.
Yeah, so I think I've been helping so many folks also during the admission process. So yeah.
That's cool. Very helpful. Thanks.
Average age of intake is around 30.5 years. I was amongst the younger ones in the cohort. So yeah.
But for you personally, did you find the application process challenging, the interviews, the tests, whatever you had to go through?
Yeah. Definitely. It was challenging for me. I am a re-applicant. I applied last year also. Like in year 2021, I was rejected. Then applied again in 2022. I was fortunate enough to get in. And interviews and everything is taken by professors. There isn't any alums or current students who will be there in the panel. And it is more about your past work experience and whether this school will be fit considering your career goals or not. So yeah.
It's interesting that you said you got rejected in the first year. Did you get any feedback what went wrong, and also did you change your strategy in the second year?
So yeah, I applied with my GMAT score and it was a little lower as compared to average GMAT score, and applied again with better score through GRE, and I had significant changes in my work experience also. Like I changed from my operations profile to sales profile. So it just showcased a diversity in my work profile also. So maybe these two factors have worked well for me.
It's interesting. So I mean, it's also a great example for everybody who kind of fails the first time. It's often worth to try a second time, like your case proves. That's great. The cost benefit of your MBA program. So let's start talking about the cost. And I think just to aid the discussion, let me share this little table. So I mean, these are just rough numbers from my rough research, but just I mean, of course, the two most famous ones, INSEAD and Harvard Business School, they in the coming academic year charge $110,000 or $75,000 tuition fees, but then you have other costs coming on top, accommodation, whatever, transportation, and a lot of stuff. Wharton Business School with 87, and then 125 in total, approximately. This is all cost per year in dollar. And what I found about IIM Ahmedabad is that they include the accommodation cost in the tuition fee, which is around $38,000. But I think, Yash, you can probably give us a more exact breakdown of the figures that you had to face. So what's realistic in your view for a student of IIM Ahmedabad?
Yeah. So yeah, these figures are almost right, I would say. This 38K, including accommodation. This includes your tuition fee and your accommodation for a single occupant. So we have a accommodation facility for the people who are married also. So for them, we have a different facility for stay. For that, it will be a little bit higher. It may be close to around 43K US dollars.
Actually true. If you go to the Harvard website, they also show you different accommodation costs for different family status. Yeah, that makes sense.
True. So you can say on an average it's around 40K US dollars, including your tuition fee, and it includes your accommodation also. But other than this, there will be additional expenditure. So it's a 1-year program. There will be additional expenditure of around I would say 10K to 15K US dollars more. This includes your living expenses, and we do have an international immersion program also, which is known as IIP. It's just a student exchange program with the partner business schools in Europe or maybe in US. So you can consider the additional expenditure. So considering that and your living expenses for the 11 months or 12 months program here, it will be close to around 10 to 15K. So yeah, it will be costing around at max 55K US dollars. And I think it's pretty cheap as compared to other business schools in US or Europe.
Is your stay abroad also compulsory part of your 1-year MBA program?
Yeah. So it's a mandatory in our 1-year program, but for that additional cost will be incurred, which isn't included in the 40K US dollars.
Yeah, sure. How long was your stay abroad and where did you go? What did you do with it?
Yeah. So it was a 2-week exchange program. It's just kind of a compressed program. That's why they want to give flavor of all the experiences in your 1-year program. So it's a 2-week exchange program, and some of them have extended to 3 weeks or 4 weeks also, just to enjoy their vacation or explore places. Speaking about me, I've been to IIM Business School. I was there 1 week in Madrid campus, and the subsequent week I was there in Barcelona campus. So IIM Business School is one of the leading business schools in Spain. It's ranked number 2 or number 3, if I'm not wrong. And it gave a very good experience to us, how is the economy been there in the Spain, or how business been flowing in Europe, or what all challenges are there considering the EU norms and everything. So yeah, it was a fantastic experience for me, I would say.
Cool. And if we kind of return to the numbers, so you could say you paid 1/3 till 1/2 compared to the most famous US business schools listed here. Do you think it was worth it? So what was your experience in the 1 year you spent at Ahmedabad? What did you learn? How was the atmosphere on campus? Did you get inspired? Did you regret at times? Were you busy? How was life as an MBA student on your campus?
Yeah, thank you. It's an interesting question, I would say. For me, it was very fulfilling experience at IIM Ahmedabad. Firstly, talking about the professors, we have a world-renowned professors, which you read articles of them on a daily basis at leading newspapers. they are already having some of the statutory bodies like Monetary Policy of Committee or maybe Gold Council of India. And hearing from them, sitting in a classroom for 1 hour, 15 minutes lecture gives the goosebumps to us, I would say. Secondly, I would say like there were very diverse cohort in my batch, I told you already. So learning from them, people from medicine background or maybe from defense background, what all challenges they have faced, what was a different experience altogether, and it has groomed my personality, I would say. We do have world-class infrastructure. We have sports facilities, gym, swimming pool, you name it, we have it. And we have a student council body, like different clubs are there, cultural activities, and so on and so forth. I try to explore in different domains, and it was a very fulfilling experience for me, I would say. And obviously, if I have a good chance, I will again try to do my MBA here.
It's very interesting to me what you mentioned, because that is what MBA graduates typically rave about when they talk about the MBA experience. I did notice, so you didn't say much about the actual business studies of your curriculum. I mean, and I think it often comes last for MBA students. What did you learn in terms of academic knowledge or experience? How was the quality of the educational program?
Sure. So if we have 5 terms, no worries. So we have 5 terms in the whole program. Term 1 and term 2 was known as core terms, in which all the subjects will be mandatory for all the students. Term 3 was a student exchange for us. In term 4 and term 5, we have electives. So students could choose any electives of their choice. So overall, we through our courses, we do have subjects related to strategy, marketing, maybe consulting, merger and acquisitions, or maybe a little bit more about financial modeling, reading over the term sheets before the seed funding or during the stage or stage 2 funding of the startups. Just reading the financial statements of business corporates, like income statement or balance sheet or profit and loss statement. So it gives a whole holistic experience to us, like bit of finance, bit of marketing, bit of operations, and it is a holistic package, I would say. And accordingly, if person have like interest in given domain, he or she is choosing a different electives accordingly in term 4 or term 5 to have a specialized learning in certain areas.
And did we also keep you busy around the clock with readings, presentations, assignments?
So definitely, it was like at IIM Ahmedabad, like jokingly used to say, A stands for academic, and it makes you workaholic in a way. We do busy throughout the whole year, like, with presentations or maybe assignments or midterms or end terms. We have a deadline like at 12 midnight hours, and some other case competitions are there, or maybe we have to work on some of the project. Maybe we have a capstone project in which it was a live project kind of thing. And we used to say that we are hardly getting like 4 to 5 hours sleep on a daily basis, because you will having a FOMO factor also, fear of missing out, because you have to give all the, like, you have to give your 100% in your academics, in your extracurricular, in your co-curricular, and parallelly enjoy the social or cultural life also, because you will be regretting this time.
Yeah, I understand. And there's a continuous inner conflict between learning and enjoying, and I know about that. I mean, when I did my PhD at Imperial College London, I lived at a hall of residence where also students from London Business School lived, and we always came often like say, yeah, now I take a break of 1 to 2 years or whatever, you know, to do 1 year to do my MBA, and now I have kind of some free time and I don't have to work. And actually, after a few weeks, we were so busy, and I always felt pity about that, because this MBA keeps you very busy. I have one critical question here as well, because if we go back to the ranking, I did see that people from your school, they were not really happy about, where is it now, the career service rank. I saw 93. So would you say that the facilities or career support functions were not up to the mark?
It's a bit a new program, considering a 1-year program. Like in all other B schools in Europe and US, they have this program, a 1-year program, or maybe similar, which is compared to 2-year program, which is a bit old. It started in 2005, like this PGPX 1-year MBA program here at Ahmedabad. So it is growing, but definitely, having said that, we do have a placement team. We do have a career admission services, which helps with students. Even after graduation, we do have a strong alumni network in which there are multiple opportunities, which is being shared in the multiple groups, either domestic or international. We may have less international experience, like people who are placed in international companies, they may be less, but it has been improving as of now.
And on this career service ranking, I mean, IIM Ahmedabad was number 93 in 2022. It indeed climbed up in 2023 to rank number 62, so there seems to be an upward trend. What about people from your cohort that wanted to kind of pursue an international career? Where are kind of graduates who went into the US or Europe or Asia? I mean, what kind of did your peers do after finishing their MBAs?
Yeah. So just after finishing MBA, international opportunities may be less. Although some of them in my cohort, they have gone to Malaysia, some of them gone to Europe. But down the line, if you compare maybe after 3 or 5 years from now, many of them have opportunities in international domain. Maybe they are settled in US or Europe or maybe Singapore. So yeah. That's it.
I think you also mentioned some people joined BCG in Malaysia, and you as well joined PwC. Again, congratulations. And by the way, I mean, we're talking here about cost and benefits of pursuing an MBA. I mean, just want to remind you guys, subscribing to my channel is for free. No tuition fees or anything else included. Maybe, I mean, you mentioned already some talks that you very much enjoyed during your MBA. Was there any specific moment or moments you like to remember, like the kind of are like stuck in your mind because they were so inspiring, or maybe something that you like to share at the end of this interview?
So yeah, I would share one of the anecdote. I interviewed my future boss indirectly. PwC India head, Mr. Sanjeev Krishan. PwC has done a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding with Ahmedabad. They have set up a ESG cell, Environment, Social and Governance. And our professor was looking some of the folks which could be then in the student panel and carry out the conversation or kind of an interview kind of thing for around 45 minutes. So I was amongst one of the 3 students on the panel and driven the conversation. So it was very fulfilling experience for me. So you might be knowing like Mr. Ajay Banga, who is an alum of Ahmedabad. He recently became chairman of World Bank Group and very well acclaimed, well-known alumni. We do have other famous alumni also. Mr. Raghuram Rajan, who was the chief economist of IMF and then served as RBI governor here in India, and well-known authors in India. So yeah, it has a strong alumni network.
I just want to share with you this about AJ.
That's
He was actually the first non-American who got appointed World Bank president. It's very impressive, I want to say. And also, if you check his Wikipedia, I mean, I saw before he was at a private equity firm, General Atlantic, and then he was chairman of MasterCard. Yeah, I mean, that's actually pretty cool that these opportunities are opened up. Yash, what are you up to next now? What is your next stop after finishing your MBA degree?
So yeah, I'm excited to explore the world of consulting and have few years stint at PwC and explore traveling parallelly because traveling is something which I'm very passionate about. So yeah, that's it. Let's see.
Is there any piece of advice that you would share with an aspiring applicant to IIM Ahmedabad?
So yeah, I would say GMAT and GRE score, focus more on it and try to showcase a profile in which you have any leadership qualities. Maybe you can showcase diversity factor in your profile. indirectly to showcase a spark factor in your profile, which could excite the interviewers, and you are good to go. And you have insane experience here. It will open multiple opportunities for you in the long run.
And in case people like to contact you and learn more about your experience, how could they reach you?
Sure, definitely. They could reach out to me over LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there.
Okay. We will drop a link below, and let's see if you get flooded for requests of letters of recommendation. This can happen sometimes, my friend. All right. Thank you very much for the interview, for your time. If you have any more questions, please post them in the comments below. We will try to get back to you. And don't forget to subscribe for further consulting and business careers content. See you soon, Jack.
Thank you.